Hey, this is Mad Matt from Budget Boosting. Today we're going to talk about checking your fluids under the hood. Kind of something you do before you take a drive. Check all your fluids, make sure they're at the proper level before you take off on a drive, because the last thing you want to happen is be stranded somewhere because one of the fluids was low and all that good stuff. So, I'm going to show you the type of what to check on a car before you start the engine. And there is fluid that you have to check when the engine's running, the automatic transmission. The engine has to be warm, so you take it for a little drive for maybe 5 or 10 minutes, and you come back when the automatic transmission is hot. That's when you check the fluid. And oil, checking the oil while the engine's warm is fine too, but the engine has to be off to check your oil. Engine has to be on to check your automatic transmission fluid. There's a lot of misconceptions out there because some people just pull the dipstick on the automatic transmission and go, hey, I'm full. But as soon as you start the engine, it spins the transmission and the torque converter, the fluid level will drop significantly. Because you could see a full dipstick with your engine off, then you turn the engine, you can see nothing on it. That's the difference between checking your engine hot and engine running for your ATF, automatic transmission fluid, and checking it with the engine off and cold. Because fluid expands, and that changes its level readings. And the engine running changes the transmission fluid readings. Keep those in mind. But I'm going to show you the static, engine off, engine is warm, and engine is off. That's how the condition is that we're checking the fluids in. So, here we go. Alright, we have a coolant overflow tank. That's where you want to check the coolant when the engine's hot, because if you pop this top, you might get a surprise, a hot surprise. So, you want to keep it, you got full, and you got add. You always want to keep it in the middle between full and add. Because if you go to add, okay, you're right on the borderline. If you go above hot and full, when this tries to evacuate some pressure, it's going to have a hard time because it's too high. So you want to keep them right in the middle, a full and add. That's the proper level. And when the engine's cool before it starts is when you can actually physically check to see the coolant's level with the lid. And of course, the tank is in between full and add. Now we got power steering fluid. Every car is a little bit different, but I'll show you on this General Motors 86 Chevy Blazer, 2.8 V6. Here you go, there's power steering fluid. It's got a little reservoir inside. You can see your power steering fluid. And you got full and cold. This thing's hot. So, you want to be in the middle as well. This thing is registered pretty good. So you got hot and add. You want to be right about in the middle between hot and add when the fluid is hot. Checking the oil now on a hot engine, but it's off. Wipe the dipstick, nice and clean. Here's the markings you look for. Those two dots represent full. The two lower dots represent add at least a quart. Now the ideal place to be on a hot engine with it off, you want to be right in the middle. Not past these dots and not under these dots. You want to be in the middle is ideal. Too much and you start risking your engine to blow seals. Too little and you're not getting enough oil circulated through the components. Your oil pump's going to be working hard for very little. There'll be nothing. So under here, no. Over here, no. Some people like to just fill it up past the lines. Not a good idea. As long as it's under these two dots, but over these two dots. But ideal is right in the middle. So a little bit at a time till you achieve right in the middle. And say the engine's cold, being in the middle is safe as well. Because when the engine oil heats up, it'll just move up a little bit, but it won't go past the full. So in the middle, between add and full is ideal, whether you're filling the oil hot or cold. Because expansion won't allow it to go too much, won't allow it to go too little, if you keep it in the middle. So here we go, we're going to check. Wipe off the dipstick with a rag, clean rag. Go back in, put it in, Pull it out. And this is a hot engine, mind you, so it's going to be a little higher, but it is under the 2 dots. See where the shininess is? And it's right about there. So it's probably just a 1/4 inch below the absolute full. So this is perfect, because if the engine was cold, it'd be right in the middle. But since it's warm, it moved up just about a 1/4 inch, but it's still under the full, but it's between add and full. Perfect. That's where you want your oil to be. But then again, your owner's manual. Every car can be just slightly different than that, but pretty much for the most part, all cars have a high and a low mark, full and an add mark. Just remember, stick to the middle. Okay, brake fluid. Look at your brake master cylinder. You got minimum and maximum full. Minimum is right here. You don't ever want to go below those lines. So as long as you're above there, ideal is right about here. Just a little bit below the top. Reason being, like say you change your brake pads, you push in your calipers, it's going to push fluid in here. If you got this thing totally topped off and you push in your calipers, you're going to shoot fluid and pressure, and you're going to have all kinds of problems. So you always want to give yourself a little leeway from the top. So about a 1/4 inch from the top, but above the adds. So you can kind of treat it like the halfway point, just like the oil. Between the minimum and the max. Between the minimum and the top. You keep them in the middle, it's above the minimum. But if you compress your calipers to put in brand new brake pads, it's not going to overfill the fluid to where you got it all over the place. So, just that good, happy medium. Just right. There's too much, too little, and just right. That's just right. Now we're going to move on to the automatic transmission fluid. Okay, we start the engine for this, and it's already warm. We now have the engine started. Now we're going to show you the proper technique on checking automatic transmission fluid levels. Now the engine is on. It's already been warmed up because we took it for like a 10-minute drive, so the engine's already warm, so the fluid's already expanded, so we're going to get an accurate reading on the automatic transmission fluid. The transmission is in park. Some manufacturers tell you go into neutral, but according to this, you check it in park, engine running. Here we go. First, we find the dipstick. Hunt around the engine bay, between the engine and transmission. Back here is your automatic transmission dipstick. Pull it out slowly. Wipe it. Here we go. I'll show you the automatic dipstick here. Full. See that recessed area with all the cross hatching? You don't want to ever be past the full hot point. You don't ever want to be lower than the crosshatch add point. Just like I said before, you want to be in the middle. The middle is ideal, but as long as you're in the crosshatched area, you don't have to add anything. So as long as you're in those cut grooves, the crosshatches, you do not have to add. Always remember, like it says, check it in park. Check it in park, transmission hot, engine idling, which usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes of driving to do this. Now I'm going to put the dipstick in again and get the accurate reading. So here we go. Put the dipstick in, all the way in till it stops. Then pull it out and observe. See the pink fluid? It's right a 1/4 inch into the crosshatches. This is perfect. As long as it's in the crosshatches, you do not have to add fluid. You're golden. You got ATF right to the crosshatches. You're not past your hot and you're not under your add. That's how you check automatic transmission fluid. If you like this video, like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube. Subscribe to our channel. This helps us out a lot. Subscribe to our YouTube page. This helps a lot. And check out our website, budgetboosting.com. Enjoy our website. Check out all the fun stuff out there. It's great. Great stuff. Great website to explore. You can find all our videos there. And our new window stickers, budget boosting window stickers. Adds visual power to any car. Visual horsepower. There you go. And helps us out too. Helps us make even more great videos. And remember, knowledge is power. It's horsepower. First off, you need to pick a turbocharger. And a TO4E is a good turbo to start with because it comes with an internal wastegate built in it. So that takes one of the things away that you need. Turbocharger with internal wastegate or a wastegate of some sort. You need an exhaust manifold to bolt your turbocharger to. Like you look over here,